All right, quickly, house cleaning out of the way. Please give this channel a subscribe and like if you can. And please consider my other channels and subscribing to them and giving the content their chance. All right, let us get right to it. Now, my motto for the channel for a long time has been trying to ignore this big fallacy that keeps coming up, which is the genetic fallacy that we judge X based on the source of X. Now, it's not always fallacious. Sometimes it makes sense. But usually, whether it comes from X or Y or Z or whatever, is not relevant. So I'm not going to put off the praise, although the praise is very limited. So Aaron on his channel has finally come forward with some extra receipts regarding the Scoville brothers. But like a lot of the receipts, they're a little distortive. So I want to be very crystal clear. And there's a lot of, quote, praise to go around. So I want to give Goot a lot of praise. I want to give Knof, as we lovingly call him, a lot of praise. True Clear Media. There's a lot of people, and I've been taken to task for not being generous enough, though I don't think people realize, and again, it depends on who the person is, that I'm not exactly very popular with the SPTV people, so I don't know if me singling people out is helpful. That may do more harm than good, but hey, there you go. So anyway, Aaron on his channel was letting people know that Scoville, for the millionth time, is a bit of a fraud. Let me just give a little extra context. Well, you probably know that Aaron is a YouTuber who does a lot on Scientology and anti-Scientology, though mainly he does stuff on himself. But anyway, apparently after he was arrested in Los Angeles for acting like a fool. I'm not going to go into details, but basically he got arrested. And I do think he was falsely arrested. However, it is all a bit deceptive. But anyway, Aaron got arrested and Scoville decided it was time to ring him up and give him a lot of text messages and basically try to persuade him that Scoville was his true alpha bro and let him advise him on how to run the channel. And Aaron got really upset and realized, oh, this guy's trying to be a con artist and I'm going to keep my distance. Now, that's not the best reason to be away from Scoville, but it's something. Also, I don't think Aaron went into the real problem with Scoville, and he's kind of covering that up. So he's not really going all the way with exposing Scoville, but it seems pretty obvious he's trying to protect some women in the SPTV community, which is not a bad thing, although in many other cases he doesn't seem to care about the women in the SPTV community. So it's a little cynical. Still, receipts are receipts, and blowing the whistle is blowing the whistle. So even though he's doing it cynically, he's doing it very partially and deceptively, it is more additional evidence about Scoville. So at this point, Scoville, has, I've lost count, at least 6 to 7 witnesses, right? At least, 10 to 12 channels, right? And it's not just counting numbers or the people or appeal to authority. No. We got screenshots, we got audio recordings, we got his own admission. It's a lot. It's a lot that says he is not who he claims to be and has not been who he claims to be for a very, very long time. So I'm just going to briefly sum up what Aaron presented us. So what did he give us? Well, within the text messages, he kept advising Aaron to stay away from Zero Dark Tony and never mention Zero Dark Tony, and that his channel was in danger of becoming an auditor channel. Now, what he means by auditor is this genre called First Amendment auditing, where basically people go out into the public and bait people to do things, create a spectacle, so on and so forth. And again, Aaron, as usual, kind of tells on himself, saying he actually likes a lot of that stuff. He loves those videos, but he doesn't do that. He actually does do a lot of that, but we'll put that aside. Anyway, Aaron was a little bit puzzled and disturbed because, for one thing, he was getting the numbers wrong. And I was a little puzzled, too, because it didn't add up. Now, again, I'm not a Zero Dark Tony expert. Maybe I missed a few videos or a few lives, but I'm like, it didn't really make any sense. So Scoville was saying that because of what Aaron did, he gave Zero Dark Tony like 60,000 views. Okay. And that translated to giving Zero Dark Tony like $50,000. And Aaron was like, no, that's not how it works. Again, I don't think Aaron got the numbers precisely right either. But yeah, you can see if you're looking from the outside in that, wow, and this includes this channel, let's be honest, that sometimes if you get whatever 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, that does add up to real money. But the YouTube system is based on revenue from the ads. So it depends on the ads, depends how big the channel is. There's a lot of factors. And Aaron did get a few things wrong. He said that Zero Dark Tony's channel is not monetized. It is monetized. However, monetization comes and monetization goes away. So whether or not Zero Dark Tony did really cash out with some of these videos, I really don't know. I'm not connected to Zero Dark Tony in that way. You'd have to ask him. But him stating these numbers didn't make any sense. So Aaron looked it up, and sure enough, he got the numbers all wrong. So this is a guy who really didn't know how YouTube worked, trying to lure Aaron into a scam and become a confidant, and Aaron would trust him with the channel. He would run the channel, and that would become the Scoville Growing Up in Scientology channel. So yeah, he was just getting a lot of things wrong, fudging the numbers, and trying to convince Aaron to basically drop his guard and let him in. And Aaron suspected something not quite right was happening and said, okay, no. I don't believe you. You don't know what you're doing. You're getting everything wrong. So I'm going to step away from you. Now, does this cohere with what Aaron said in the past? Because I thought, and this is what he said with other people, was that the reason he backed off from Scoville was he kind of felt that Scoville crossed the line socially. In other words, they had done a few videos together, they were friendly enough, and for whatever reason, he felt disrespected. That's why he took a break from Scoville. Not because Scoville is a fraud, not because he's a criminal, etc., etc. That was the reason. He was being disrespectful. So this is slightly a different story than before. So yeah, there's been a shift and change what Aaron was claiming in the past. Now the issue is that Scoville is a fraud, and he agrees. And he also feels that Scoville was showing he has quite a temper. He gets into these rages, and Aaron was disturbed by that. How much of this is true? I don't know. And frankly, he's bandwagoning, because at this point, Scoville is very unpopular, and there have been a ton of videos. And again, to be fair, Aaron does admit that this is not really contributing that much. And a lot of the hard work was being done by Marilyn, Knof, Goot, and others, but he doesn't name them. He only names Marilyn and the people he likes and he knows. And he says, okay, they showed me that Scoville is lying and that Scoville cannot be trusted. And again, I have to reluctantly agree that Marilyn and others have done some good exposure, although they have their own agenda. They're not interested in helping victims or even telling the truth. They just don't like Scoville because, for whatever reason, now Scoville is unpopular with some SPTV people, so he's got to go. And that's really what's going on. It's kind of like this agenda setting, controlling the echo chamber that's going on with SPTV. Still, two things can be true, even though SPTV is just doing more gatekeeping. In this case, keeping the gate shut from Scoville, it's not a bad idea. So at this point, Scoville is being denied entry to a lot of places where before he was welcome. So it is good news that more channels and more people on YouTube are on their guard and being very careful and wary about what the Scoville brothers are up to. Now, they're not on guard for the right reason, right? They're trying to protect their own little echo chamber, but still, something is better than nothing. But I want to be careful in praising Aaron too much. He's not doing what Knof or Goot were doing, which is really warning people of good faith for a very long time, being lonely voices in the wilderness. He's just being what he is. He's just a very cynical grifter. But still, sometimes Aaron will do the right thing if for the wrong reason, and I do want to acknowledge that. But it's the same message with Scoville. I don't trust him. You should not trust him. And whenever he does the good thing, you're going to be like, okay, I get it. Yes, you did do something good. But I'm like, why? That's just not in your nature. So I'm a little puzzled as to what he's up to. Because with Aaron, you get nothing for free. You always pay a price. But still, I'm willing to be the better, bigger person and say, okay, he's not a good person. He's not a trustworthy person, but he did the right thing. I'd be more trusting of Knof and Goot, TCM and others, but that is me. But I'm glad that Aaron at last has woken up and said the obvious that this is a very shady customer. Don't trust this person. Be very, very careful when they come knocking and say, I'm the alpha bro you've been looking for. I'm going to give you some advice. Okay, Mr. Scoville, nice advice. As they say, nice plan, wrong man. Bye-bye. See ya. Don't want to be ya. Bye-bye. Good day, sir.